Cleveland Indians are 1 win away from going to the World Series Game 3. They played in Toronto, but the biggest story that came out of that was the 21 pitches starting pitcher Trevor Bauer was able to throw before he had to get pulled from the game. Those who were watching, those who saw on Twitter, those who were in complete disbelief, as Deadspin put it, Trevor Bauer is liquefying the mound with the blood flowing from his pinky. What happened was Trevor Bauer was playing with his drone, something that he's very interested in a hobby. As Barstool Sports put it, looks like Trevor Bauer really recovered nicely from that drone incident.
It was like a walker got on his hand.
Last week, we have 2 more pictures. So I just really want to show you. That was before the game, so it's stitched up. It's pussy and bloody. You can put a crying Jordan over it if you want. And then the next one is even worse. You can just see it was free-flowing. There was blood free-flowing from his hand. And by the way, you can't bleed on the baseball.
No, you can't bleed on anything. It's a sanitary issue.
Yeah, well, it's a major sanitary issue.
It's the same thing with any sport, really. It's not really... The rules is what he couldn't do to prevent it is specific to baseball. You guys are very unique in this, and I'll get into the discussion. But as far as any sport goes, in football, you have to change your shirt. You cannot just play the game without even if you've got a little bit of blood on your shirt, you have to wear a new one.
You're allowed to bleed in the UFC. That's like the exception.
No bleeding. Only body shots.
Nobody makes me...
Can we just hit the middle? You can bleed internally.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Here's Trevor Bauer, by the way, ahead of the game. This is 2 days ago, explaining that it was a non-issue. Have a look.
What's your status now, Trevor?
Normal, I guess. Scheduled to start tomorrow, so looking forward to that.
How have you adjusted with the stitches in your hand?
It's really a non-issue. Been able to throw normally and stuff, so like I said, I'm excited for tomorrow.
Really a non-issue.
He brought the drone.
It's really a non-issue.
He brought the drone to a press conference. This is when you know that when the media, sports media, just gets to the point of ridiculousness, that you can sit there with a straight face as a guy brings a toy drone and you're asking him questions
First
about
of all, those are going to be dropping off our packages via Amazon Prime sooner than later.
Very true.
I have some important quotes to read for you about how it happened. On Sunday, Bauer brought the offending drone to a news conference in Toronto where he explained what happened. Quote, "So I plugged it in like I've done thousands and thousands of times, and for whatever reason it was sitting like this. I was plugging the battery in and my finger happened to be right here, and for whatever reason these 3 propellers didn't spin like they were supposed to, and the one spun at max throttle. It had never happened to me before. I have no idea why it happened. And my finger just happened to be in the way of the prop, and it cut me. He did have to go to the emergency room. Here's the best part. Bauer said he first got in the drones in 2013 after seeing a drone video that reminded him of the Endor speeder bike chase from Return of the Jedi. That's Star Wars, Francis. I said, quote, "That looks awesome. I've got to learn how to do that." He said Sunday. Bauer, needless to say, is also a huge Star Wars fan. You're not a huge Star Wars fan.
Not that.
You wouldn't understand.
It's just like he's trying to justify playing with the drone to the point it's just like...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in America, if you put Star Wars on it, then everyone's justified.
Well, if he used the Force.
Like, yeah.
If he was able to control the Force, it wouldn't be a effing
Well,
problem.
the Force was not with him. The Force was with the drone.
So he has a fleet of 8 to 10 drones, but the MLB made him not take. He was not allowed to take the drones to the ballpark in 2015 because it breaks like the aerial code of the stadium, like the fly-by aerial code. Here's the biggest part. So a lot of people come out and said, well, Trevor Bauer's an effing moron because he put his team in a position to lose.
No, I don't agree with that.
The only reason I don't agree with it is because like I feel like this type of injury could easily happen if you're cutting tomatoes when you're making dinner with the family. It's like it really is the definition of a freak accident. And by the way, if they lost the game, it would be a totally different reaction.
Yeah,
it would be Trevor Bauer. But here's the amazing part: the Cleveland Indians relief pitching. Needless to say, Otero relieved Bauer in the bottom of the first. Manship relieved Otero in the bottom of the third. McAllister relieved Manship in the bottom of the fourth. Brian Shaw started off pitching for them in the bottom of the sixth. Cody Allen relieved Shaw in the bottom of the seventh, and Andrew Miller, who's been the MVP of playoff baseball thus far, relieved him in the bottom of the eighth, throwing more and more pitchers comparable to not even Mariano Rivera in terms of what he's been doing for the relief pitching for the Cleveland Indians. Terry Francona, so I said 2 things in a Facebook clip for the predictions. After the reasons that I thought Toronto would lose to Texas is the exact reason that they're losing to the Cleveland Indians. I thought they were going to get swept or look bad against the Rangers because I thought they had the pitching to prove it, the depth, and because the Blue Jays lineup is swing and miss hitters. When they hit the ball, they hit it effing hard, and they brag about it and they boast about it, and I think it's a great product for baseball and television and all of that because it's been a good playoffs for that part of that reason. However, the one reason I thought that the Indians could win this series, even though I believed at that point, well, no, I can't discredit the Blue Jays anymore. They just proved me wrong and everything else, was their manager, Terry Francona, who's been in these situations before and understands more so than anybody else in baseball right now. It is a sprint to the finish. It is not a marathon at this point. The regular season's a marathon. And I think they alluded to this in the Deadspin comments section, but you have to sprint through the playoffs. So, yes, make your relievers throw 50 pitches. Throw out the rule book on pitch count and innings limits and all of that. If it's working and Andrew Miller has been unhittable, as well as the rest of the Indians bullpen, pretty much, yes, that's going to work. It looks like I'd be shocked if the Cleveland Indians don't close out tonight or at least head back if the Blue Jays pull out another win or two in the ALCS. Cleveland's going to be, Cleveland, the most cursed city in sports, might win 2 championships.
Can I put a Band-Aid on that?
Yes. Now to the Band-Aid. Okay, now really quick to the Band-Aid. You
It's
can't
just-
have a Band-Aid.
I'm on the edge of my seat because I'm just right. So give me 2 minutes just to explain my thought process around this, right? One, I think it's so stupid, right? If you think that the guy's going to put some sort of substance on it, then check. You have an actual league official put the Band-Aid on for him.
But the Band-Aid's also sticky.
Yeah,
so what if
okay.
you're rubbing part of the Band-Aid to get some stick on your finger?
I understand that. So don't make... then everyone shouldn't be allowed Band-Aids because if I'm correct, outfield people are allowed Band-Aids, right?
too,
Infielders as
catchers.
well. So what I want to say with that is, I was telling Jason, yeah, because he's not trying to get one up on his opponent. If he's catching the ball, he's trying to throw it to his own teammate. But you're trying to tell me that same stick that you might have on the pitcher's hand might not help you pick up the ball a little quicker if it's a ground ball, adjust it so it goes into your hand just a little bit, maybe half a second quicker, and then gives you extra grip as you're throwing it just a half second.
You just don't understand how to cheat in baseball.
I'm just saying, yes, exactly, because the cheating thing is...
There's very specific rules on how to cheat in baseball. And by the way,
If it's one rule for one, it should be one
pitchers,
rule for all.
hitters, we've been cheating in baseball for like 130 years.
But why is the rules? Why is it so hard to change a rule in baseball? Why is that the hardest thing in the world?
There's written rules, there's unwritten rules, there's rules in Latin, there's rules for like different players, there's rules about what you're allowed to do at the plate, there's rules about taking your foot out of the batter. There's a lot of rules.
It just it just makes me so frustrated.
You're like,
It's
what?
just like just change.
You sit there and you look at me and you go, I can't figure out what it is about this sport, but I love it. Reaction time, 4 of them. Now it's time for the puns, Ja'Cory.
Hit me.
First, here's Kurt Schilling. Please don't tweet at me about Bauer. He cost himself a start, likely more, and his teammates and fans dicking around with the drone. Hashtag stupid. I love, by the way, the use of hashtag stupid on any. I think it's the greatest thing ever. Trevor Bauer.
Him?
Kurt Schilling. Well, Kurt Schilling
on.
is a bloody sock, understandably.
No,
Red
I
Sox
understand
fans.
that, but come on.
It's deplorable that he has @Gehrig38 as his Twitter handle.
like that you said deplorable.
Because what Lou Gehrig stood for in baseball is so completely different than what Kurt Schilling stands for now. Trevor Bauer's finger looks like Harvey Dent's face after that explosion in the Dark Knight. Next. I can't believe Terry Francona took Trevor Bauer out while he still had a no-hitter going. But here we go, Ja'Cory, you ready? Trevor Bauer has to come out with 2 men on, which means a reliever will need to come in and stop the bleeding. Next. Just a flesh wound.
That's amazing.
And lastly, so Band-Aids are a foreign substance, not to be used to stop bleeding, but stitches. Those are fine. Again, there's no stick. You can't pull a stitch out, rub it, get some grip on the stitch, and throw a baseball.
What happens if one of the stitches comes loose? It's sharp and it deflates one of the baseballs.
That's Tom Brady. That's Tom Brady. Tom Brady deflates baseball.
Yeah, I mean, you can justify it. I just think it's so funny.
I don't care. Here's more Schilling. I don't care if his leg was chopped off below the knee. If they don't win, none of it matters in any way ever. Oh,
So we're giving Kurt Schilling 2 tweets?
Yeah, we'll give him 2 tweets. 2 tweets. Look, his bloody sock is. By the way, the one thing I tweeted out about that game was how much for Trevor Bauer's bloody baseball. I want it so bad.
Why?
Yeah, because I'm the type of person who wants like weird sports paraphernalia, not paraphernalia, memorabilia. Well, sports paraphernalia too, sure, why not? But like the memorabilia, like I want Steph Curry's mouth guard that he threw at like the person. I want at the ref. Like I want what is it in Joel McHale in Ted?
Yeah.
He's like,
you want
that's
Ray
Lance
Lewis's
Armstrong's
jockstrap.
testicle.
You want Ray Lewis's jockstrap.
I don't want Ray Lewis's jockstrap.
You don't want that?
That's gross.
You don't want to sniff the pants?
Sniff the pants. All right, comment below. The Indians are playing around 1 o'clock. We shot this at 11. They might close out tonight. There could be a game 5. There could be a game 6. Who knows? Like, favorite, subscribe to the channel at France_Maxwell J391. Keep your fingers stitched up.
Free the Band-Aids.
Before I flex and make a big fuss, I never quit killing the grind, right? Precise spit, spilling blood all in the limelight. While time keeps ticking, I stay fresh like all whites. They fall, right? Just another Vic of the mic fight. The click tight, you can feel it coming when I